Can everybody see my screen?
Not yet, Willem.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Good morning, everybody. Welcome at the SaasNow presentation. We'll just wait a few more moments for people to log in, and then we'll start. So it's right channel. Just wait for 1 or 2 minutes, please. So it's 10 o'clock here in North America. I would like to welcome everybody for this SaasNow presentation. In the next 45 minutes, we will explain more about SaasNow, give you an introduction on MCO, and I'm here together with 2 of my colleagues. Greg LeBlanc from SaaS. He's the solution manager for SaaS in the global technology program, and our CTO of MCO, Ruben van Zwan, who will give you an update or a demo on how the portal is actually working. And Greg will inform us about the latest developments on SaasNow. So in the next 45 minutes, we'll go over the information and the possibilities that SaasNow has to offer for partners. And I would like to start to inform you and show you a clip that we made to give a brief overview on what SaasNow is actually all about. So in the next 90 minutes, we will have a quick overview of SaasNow.
Just imagine, suppose you were able to create a scalable and flexible SaaS environment like visual analytics in less than an hour. And as a SaaS partner or customer, you would have access to the full application for a monthly fee, no matter where you are. Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? In conjunction with SaaS, leading cloud provider MCO has launched a unique proposition which enables SaaS environments to be activated directly through the MCO self-service portal. This unique service is called SaasNow. So let me tell you how this service works. Go to the website SaasNow.com for your online registration. Enter your contact details and select a local partner if necessary. You receive your login details for the MZO Partner Portal immediately. In the secured portal, you can start to add and manage your own SaaS environments. You have instant access to the SaaS software, and you can view your usage, storage, and invoices at any time. It's that and flexible environment for SaaS software. Manage and view your users, statistics, and usage yourself. Efficient and flexible monthly contracts and a software as a service model. Stable and reliable platform, guaranteed by an SLA. Deploy it today. Go check it out at SaasNow.com. If you want your SaaS software now.
This gives in a 90-second clip a small overview on what SaasNow actually does and what it can do to your business. So it's a partner-based model. It's designed for the partners of SaaS. We offer VA, VS, but also machine learning from the cloud. It's the ideal answer for cloud demand for SaaS. We can deploy a full VA and a full VS in less than an hour. You can manage all your environments in one easy-to-use portal. You have payments per month, but also monthly contracts, which makes it really flexible. And we notice a lot that we have demand from MSAP construction. So partners that want to adapt an MSAP program use the SaasNow platform for deployment. So let's take one step back and look at the company behind SaasNow. Well, MZO is one of the leading managed hosting companies in Europe. We've been in business for more than 15 years, and the thing that we do and what we do really well is hosting and deliver cloud experience. We're not a consulting firm for SaaS. We are solely focused infrastructure company, and of course we have all the different ISO certifications for higher quality control. So how does SaasNow actually start? Well, we've been working with SaaS in the Netherlands for over 8 years now, and we've been hosting a lot of private cloud solutions for the SaaS customers. And actually, SaaS asked us, you're really good at hosting. Can you find a solution or develop a solution that makes it really easy for our customers to deploy in a really flexible and fast way? So together with SaaS, we came up with SaasNow, and this is where we stand right now. So for SaaS, in the past, we also and still we implement a lot of private cloud solutions, and not only VA, VS, which are available in our cloud in SaasNow, but also all the other SaaS software suites. So what is the SaasNow model? How does it look like? Well, in the middle you have your of course, the end customer needs, and we build components around it to make it really easy and efficient for end users, but also for partners of SaaS. So I will go through, over all the different elements in this chart. So I will tell you a little bit more about the infrastructure side, the security, maintenance and support, how does the licensing and the billing works, and of course one of the secret sauce of SaasNow, the provisioning, and of course the SaaS software. So let me start with the provisioning. So we automated the whole provisioning of a full VAVS, and actually we can deploy it in less than an hour. We have multiple data centers worldwide, so not only in Europe, but also in North America. You can do the user management from the portal, which makes it a really easy and handy way to use to make users and to deploy a full VA and to manage the full software license. For partners, which is interesting, we can also white label the portal. And if you look at the data loading, which is also always an important part of using the VABS, it's done by the software. So the normal possibilities that are already in the SAS software, but also with the data manager, and everything goes through secured FTP connections. And when VIA is coming out and available on our portal, it also supports connections to external data sources and authenticators. So if you look at the infrastructure where it's running on, it's handled by MZO. And like I said before, we are an expert in hosting, and we have multiple data centers around the world, and we manage them all from our 24/7 NAC in Europe. And so we deliver the infrastructure. We have a really fast and reliable redundant platform, and we also take care of all the networking. And we work with 2 different data center partners. In Europe, that's Interaction, and outside Europe, it's Equinix, one of the largest data center providers actually in the world. Security is always a big issue when you talk about cloud solution. Well, we can assure you that all traffic is encrypted by high SSL encryption. We monitor our platform 24/7. So anytime something is going wrong, we probably already know it, and we take action on that. Because it's different, because it's a worldwide, so it's a global solution, and we have different data centers in different countries, we can actually guarantee that your data stays in the country of the chosen data center. And we automatically do backups, so you can make sure that if by accident you delete, for example, an environment, there's a grace period of like a couple of days that actually you can retrieve all the data and all the information. If you look at the support and the maintenance, the platform where SaasNow is running on, of course, is supported and maintained by our engineers from MZO. The software update, so there is a new release, is done by SAS in Kerry. So if there's a new update coming out, then we'll make sure that the latest version is available in our portal. But the software support is done by the partner. And that's because the partner, that's the part where they can add the value and have the interaction with the customer. And also because we are an infrastructure specialist, we don't do any consulting on the SaaS software. So that's a really important thing to know, because we're not in competition with partners. We only deliver the applications to the partners, and the partners they are having the contact and the interaction with the end customers. If you look at the licensing and the billing, this is also a beautiful part of SaasNow. The payments, you can choose to pay per month, and you can also choose to have a contract per month. So it's an ideal offering for example, proof of concepts, projects, or just to have a fast deployment for your end customer. You can choose either to rebuild the end customer, or we can build a partner. That's the choice you can make in the portal. And the partners also get the standard list price, and they have a discount on that. So that's the extra margin they can have on the application and the software. If you look at the SaasNow pricing model, right now we offer 4, 8, and 16 cores. So that the price depends on the number of cores, and you can see the server capacity that it belongs to different cores, and the user capacity that we recommend with the 4, 8, and 16 core. So if a customer wants more than 16 cores, we can also offer that in a private cloud solution right now. And with Via, we're going to be able to offer multiple cores as well. So if you look at the pricing, you can actually start offering a full VA with 4 cores for $795 US. So what does it include? It includes the license fee to SaaS. It includes the deployment, the provisioning from MGL, but it's also the maintenance and support. So it's the support on the hardware. So actually, it's a really low entry price for end customers to try out VAVS, and it's a great way to build your own services on. So anything over 16 core, we can offer as well, not only VAVS, but also other SaaS applications, but then we can offer that in the private cloud solution. So what are the benefits for customers? Like we know this is a really interesting model that we built over the last year. But what are the benefits for customers? Well, the ideal thing is that they can start using all the benefits from the SaaS software without doing a huge investment in IT. They don't need to buy servers. They don't need to buy consulting for the deployment, because that's all included in this price. So it's a really transparent model. They don't have to commit for 36 months. Because it's a monthly payment system and monthly contract, we don't have any long-term contracts, and no setup fees and upfront fees. So for customers, they can have really fast access to industry-specific dashboards. So what are the advantages for partners? What are the benefits for SaasNow for partners? Well, it's really easy to build a recurring business model on. So instead of doing a project and selling multiple projects in a year, they can actually build a portfolio of a recurring business model and sell an industry dashboard that is developed for one customer. They can start reselling it repetitively to other customers in the same brand. So it's easy to sell because it's a smaller investment for end customers. Instead of selling a $50,000 or $100,000 project, it's $10,000 or $20,000, for example. So it's way easier to get approval. That means also a shorter sales cycle, so that's faster invoicing, and it also means shorter deployment, which also equals faster invoicing. So especially in a situation where cash is king, this could be really help and benefit building your business. And again, also the benefits here for partners, it's a monthly payment, it's a monthly contract, so it's no long-term commitment, but also it gives you an opportunity to interact with your customer on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. And being in contact with your end customer, it also gives you the possibility to upsell and cross-sell other consultancy services that you actually offer. And I'm really excited to share this news with you guys as well. SAAS actually decided that we're going to have a new incentive program for SAAS partners. And I will also love to invite you to connect with your partner account manager to ask for the specifics on this program. There's more information available on that for when we have the partner conference also in the SAAS Global Forum in Orlando. So more information on that in the next coming weeks. So if you combine all the SaasNow, the consultancy for the knowledge that the partners have of the SaaS applications, you can actually make that into a managed analytics service. So we see in the market more and more that end customers are really interested in not only just the software, but the application that SaaS has software, but also what can we actually do with it? What does it benefit our daily base business? And partners can actually make it into a managed analytic service where they offer their specific knowledge of the industry or the specific knowledge of the customer combined with the SaaS software, and then delivered on the SaasNow platform, and that will actually make a really strong proposition towards their customers. So this is like really in a nutshell what SaasNow can offer you and can offer your business. If you have any questions, I will suggest that we do that after the live demo of Ruben. But you can also always reach us by mail if you have any questions, and our contact information is on the website as well. So thank you very much for this part of SaasNow of the presentation. And I would love to give Greg LeBlanc the possibility to inform you more about VIA and the latest possibilities and developments on that platform. So thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Wilhelm. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And please tell me if you're not seeing it, but it should be up by now. So this is pretty exciting. So SaasNow is the fantastic way to get up and running with SaaS very quickly, and it's always been one of our challenges when a customer says, I really like what I see, help me get started, and we have to go through a lot of work internally with the customer on site to get that up and running. So the availability of doing something like SaasNow, where we can get up very quickly, get running, and start using analytics to solve the real problems the customer has is very exciting. What I wanted to share with you today is some of the direction, some of the things that we're doing with our latest analytic platform, which is SaaS VIA that Wilhelm mentioned. And I wanted to go through and describe where is that coming from? Why are we shifting? What's changing? How is it even better to support environments like SaasNow, and it really kind of interfaces and works even more efficiently in that kind of model and that kind of delivery circumstance. So let me kind of jump right into that. So I want to start though with an example from a customer of ours that's near our corporate headquarters in North Carolina. So Duke Clinical Research, they're part of Duke University. They're one of the leading research universities in the United States, and their mission is to develop and share knowledge that improves the care of patients through innovative clinical research. So they're using SaaS, and they have about 4 years of data that covers about 40,000 patients. And this data is available to a network group of individuals who have different needs, and yet use the same information, the same platform, the same tools to address a network of different issues or different answers. So how do they make that possible? And how do they address the different layers of requirements ranging from data access to availability to security? Well, they rely on SaaS to enable this by providing a single analytic platform for the entire community. So their goal is to take the insights that they find by researchers and use that to compound the value of the data for other researchers. So insights enables new insights. Well, we hear a lot in the media and in different areas about all this noise about analytics and what makes analytics such a hot topic and area of focus these days. So analytics is really helping to drive innovation-based disruption. We're now in an environment where disruption to traditional businesses can come from anywhere. Consider Uber, the world's largest transportation company, and they don't own a single taxi. Or Airbnb doesn't own a single hotel room. These are examples of innovation-based disruption. They understand and respond to their market and their customers like no other using the massive amounts of data that's available. So analytics is the unifying fabric that delivers the value and unlocks the potential for the amount and the data that they have available to them. So analytics is really there to kind of help and figure out, determine the automation to take the constrained resources and use those optimally to bring the huge potential, and not just cost savings, but also in responding rapidly to changing market conditions. And the availability of the cloud has opened up new sources of data. So data now exists in many places and is tied together in one large network. Now we must be conscious of data security and privacy. However, this brings an opportunity to piece together a complete picture of our customers like we've never had before. And analytics is no longer solely an active exercise. It happens passively. It happens in the background, watching and waiting for the right combination of events to react. And this is what we mean. We mean by ambient analytics. It's using analytics on data as it's streaming by to identify the signals from all the noise. So how does SAS position in this new analytics economy? Well, like the Duke Research Institute and a lot of our other customers, the way to success in the analytics economy is by having a consistent approach to allowing anyone to collaborate, to curate, to craft the best actions in a governed, repeatable way. So our vision at SAS is to be the one platform that powers the analytics economy. So we want to deliver value from those analytics. And SAS Viya is the new analytics platform that is designed with an approach of creating a trusted, scalable, and flexible network that forms the fabric of our customers' analytical ecosystem. Now, let me give some context and history of how the SAS Viya platform came to be. And this is really an internal perspective from SAS facing outwards, but I think it will give you some appreciation of what has resulted in the new platform. So back in around 2010, we had a request from our banking customers to help them with some computationally difficult analysis required within their risk departments. The conventional approaches were just taking too long to complete. So we crafted a solution that broke the problem into smaller chunks that could be processed separately on many different machines in parallel, using the data in memory so that we would limit the amount of disk access as much as possible. So this was our first take at what we called high performance analytics, or HPA. And it worked fantastic for solving these complex risk portfolio evaluations. Well, not long after, in 2011, we had another set of requirements from customers who had large quantities of data coming from systems like Hadoop and other database environments, but they had no easy way to visualize and explore this data. So from this set of requirements was born our laser in-memory analytics server. And this is the environment that our visual analytics, visual statistics is based on in SAS 9 today. And this allowed customers to lift large amounts of data into memory and then allow many users to interactively explore and analyze this data. However, now we have a bit of a problem. We have two different approaches for doing analytics in large amounts of data. Both have their use cases, but standing up, maintaining these two environments is really not that ideal. So SAS Viya was started from the ground up, started around 2013 from the ground up to bring the strengths of both of these previous generations of in-memory environments and to address some of the known shortcomings we had in each. So now, in one platform, SAS Viya gives us the multi-user concurrency from Laser that is so important, while also enabling the execution of complex algorithms that were only available in our high-performance analytics engines. So SAS Viya also provides the fault tolerance that a lot of our customers come to require for these kinds of systems that we didn't necessarily have in the past, as well as the flexibility to go beyond the memory limit boundaries and spill over onto disk if the data and the size of that data gets too large for the system itself. So what exactly is Viya and how does that fit in with SaasNow? This, what you see here, is a conceptual architecture picture of SAS Viya and the various pieces and parts of its ecosystem. So let me walk you through this picture and explain some of SAS Viya's fundamental elements. Let's start in the middle or the heart of SAS Viya with the computational lifeblood of the analytical platform. This consists of two components that have been written specifically to address the modern architectural deployments. First, we have the third generation in-memory engine called Cloud Analytics Server, or CAS. This is built on what we've learned over those past two generations of in-memory engines and addresses many of the shortcomings of those previous versions. Also in the middle are the microservices. And this is a significant difference from our old platform and is new for SAS Viya. So microservices are composed of loosely coupled and independent capabilities that allow much more flexibility to scale up certain requirements or apply updates or hot fixes separately from the entire platform. So fantastic for maintenance and maintainability. So, and a microservice really is just a simple process that does one and only one task. For example, auditing or logging or authentication. So if more compute resources are needed for, say, logging, we can spin up additional logging microservices and scale up the system that way, something we couldn't do in the past. Now, as I move over to the left side of this diagram, we're showing the various data sources. Now, notice that the SAS Viya platform doesn't simply treat these as external sources to just feed and ingest the data. This is important, and really it's been part of SAS for a while now, and it's meant to imply that the SAS computational logic is extended directly into these data sources themselves. So we use an embedded process so we can pass the logic, pass the mathematics, and ask the data source to perform this natively inside the database itself. So for example, inside Hadoop or inside Teradata, and avoid moving or lifting the data into memory if we don't need to. Now, we've had this capability for a while now using SAS, but SAS Viya takes this type of logic and makes it much more native. It doesn't require a user to explicitly indicate the use of in-database processing. So SAS Viya will understand where the data exists, and it will make a judgment call for the benefit of the user. Now, as I move to the bottom of the diagram, we have various different platforms that SAS Viya supports. Now, SAS Viya has been specifically designed to be cloud-enabled. This is why it makes such a good fit for SaasNow, since SaasNow, which is based on OpenStack, which we can easily deploy on. So the philosophy is to have customers be able to obtain a license from SAS and be up and running, performing complex analytics in a matter of minutes. And designing with SaasNow in mind and this kind of infrastructure underneath, this provides that flexibility of deployment. It's also the reason we've been using SaasNow for our SAS Viya early trial programs. So the trial programs we run for customers to try out, give feedback on our products that have been just released or will be releasing soon. SaasNow makes this deployment and configuration so much easier than asking a customer to acquire new hardware, meet a long list of pre-installation requirements. We can literally get our customers up and running in a matter of hours. Now, if I move over to the right side of the screen, the APIs, these are the external hooks into SAS Viya from other environments. And using these APIs, we can leverage the consistency, the scalability, the stability of the Viya platform directly from within Python or Java coding environments. And similarly, a developer might create a completely custom application that connects to SAS using a REST API to perform the computation in CAS and return the results back to the user. And then lastly, the solution focus area is shown here in the top right. This is the visible part of SAS. This is what our users see and what SAS Viya enables. SAS Viya is the platform, the one foundation that the various solutions and products that they leverage this particular platform. This is what our customers license, and we'll see more and more solutions coming out on this new platform in the future. So one of the big differences then in SAS Viya is really around the openness of the platform. So arguably, SAS has always been open, I guess, to a certain degree. However, we've really taken this a step further by augmenting that and supporting many new ways to support SAS while maintaining a very consistent fashion, yet open up and be very flexible at the same time. So at the top here we have specific visual interfaces that have been designed and developed and are fit for purpose. This is what many of you may have seen and used, or maybe are currently using with SAS Visual Analytics and SAS Visual Statistics. And this is the way to build and interact with analytic models. We also have very specific SAS programming interface for performing the same analytical routines. So none of that's changed particularly, but what's new is this programming interface is the ability to select your language of choice. So it could be Python, it could be Java, or later this year it could be R. So you have this ability to use whatever interface and environment you want to use. Similarly, the SAS API interfaces, which we've had before, but they're now much more consistent, much more robust than we had in the past, and allows application developers to interface and interact with the SAS Viya platform much more natively using REST. So why is that important? Well, it's important to realize that no matter which interface you use, when you call a SAS analytic procedure, it runs the same code and returns the same results, no matter which one you choose. So if you create a decision tree using SAS Visual Statistics, you will get the same results as a decision tree created in Python from a Jupyter Notebook, which is the same as seen in a custom mobile app created by a developer using the REST API. So you can choose whichever method best suits the needs of the user community. Now, to put that in some context, the importance of that is the fact that not everyone has the same skills, nor requires or wants to use analytics the same way. So the life cycle for analytics is interconnected, and the consistency of those results and execution is really what becomes so crucial. So consider the two personas that are shown here. On the left side, we have the data scientists or the data analysts, and these are the folks that are actively exploring data, seeking out insights, and just being curious with the data. And then on the right-hand side, we have the folks that are responsible for taking those insights, those models, and outputs and putting them into production. Now, many people will perceive that analytics is predominantly on the left side of this equation, left side of this screen. However, if that model or those insights aren't put into production, it's kind of all for naught. So organizations often struggle to convert and embed the logic derived on the left side to the frontline applications on the right. And sometimes it can take many months of effort and require a huge amount of testing to ensure that the results are the same and consistent from one to the other. And this is why organizations need a analytics platform rather than relying on best of breed or individual tools or techniques on one side versus that are different than the other side. So the platform integrates and completes this life cycle and probably most importantly, bridges the gap from exploration to operations. And at SaaS, our philosophy has always been providing the analytics platform that supports that full life cycle from data to discovery to deployment. And with SaaS Viya, we've extended this further than ever before by providing a much more open, flexible environment for scientists who are curious about their data. And then the platform provides the consistency, governance, security, collaboration, so that those findings and those insights can be quickly deployed to the field, either embedded directly in the frontline applications or using fit-for-purpose applications for visualizing and understanding the results. Now, until now, I've really been describing that SaaS Viya platform that makes all of this a reality. But our customers don't buy the platform. Rather, they buy SaaS products. They buy SaaS functionality or capabilities, which sits on top of the platform. So I wanted to make mention specifically of which products are available in SaasNow today. So we have SaaS Visual Analytics and SaaS Visual Statistics, both in the SaaS 9 platform. These have been available for some time now in SaasNow. And the new versions of SaaS Visual Analytics and Visual Statistics, they're also, which now make use of SaaS Viya, those are also available in SaasNow. In addition to those two different products, we also have availability of our new capabilities in SaaS Visual Data Mining and Machine Learning. So this provides new, powerful machine learning algorithms, things like extreme gradient boosting, factorization machines, image processing, capabilities we didn't have before in the SaaS 9 platform. Those are now available in SaasNow today. And then coming soon, we'll see in SaasNow the newly released products from SaaS for forecasting, econometric time series, optimization. These products were just made available this week from SaaS, so you can expect them in the not too distant future on SaasNow as well. So lastly, I wanted to just let you know if you wanted to learn more about the SaaS Viya platform, I would highly encourage you to take a look at our SaaS.com website. Lots of great information and details around SaaS Viya there. And if you're interested in using SaasNow to experiment with any of the products on SaaS Viya, contact your local SaaS account representative. They can work with you to obtain a license that can be deployed in SaasNow for that purpose. And with that, I will turn it over to Ruben, I think. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. Thanks for the update. Very, very impressive to see the steps SaaS has been making on the Viya platform. One of the key things is that it's going to be possible to connect with databases and different sources, which is something that is very cool in a hosted model. So SaasNow is running on OpenStack, as you mentioned. It's also running on VMware. We host it from multiple data centers, as mentioned before. And because it's hosted, it's also very easy to connect it to different sources. And also, with just Viya, just a visual analytics platform, you're only maybe halfway there. So we see a lot of customers also engaging in hosted solutions like a data warehouse or a database solution. And with Viya coming, it's going to be possible to also connect them together. So that's very cool. So I'm going to give a short demo of the portal we have for SaasNow. Once you become a partner, you get credentials for the SaasNow portal, and once you log in, you get an overview of your credentials, who you are, and what environment you have running. So the first thing you do is you go to Managing SaasNow, where you get an overview, a list of all the environments you have running. Of course, when you're a new partner or customer, you don't have any environment running. So the first thing you would do is add an environment. So you have to pick and choose some different variables. First of all, the host name. This is the host name you'll remember for later when you are going to launch the SaaS application. As you can see here, there's a suffix to the host name, which is specific for each partner. In this case, of course, it's our test, so test, but it can be your customer name or partner or the specific customer you're running the solution for. And you can choose a suffix, a TLD. So it's also possible to choose something more generic like analyticsonline.net if you're going to send this to your customer. There's not a direct reference. So the next thing you have to do is choose a configuration. We have three as of today, Visual Analytics or Visual Analytics combined with Visual Statistics, which is now on the, that's not on VIA yet. And once you choose one of those, you also choose your configuration. As you are probably well familiar with, Visual Analytics and Statistics is based on core licensing. So we have three different types here in SaasNow, either a 4, 8, or a 16 core solution, and you pick the one you want to run with. You can choose your contract term. In this case, it's monthly or yearly. You can choose the data center location. We have multiple data centers, one in the States, also in Paris, Copenhagen, Frankfurt, and the primary location is in Amsterdam. You have to agree with a couple of agreements. The top one is the fact that you acknowledge the fact that this is a cloud model. The minute you launch the environment, you will be billed for the environment. And you agree with a SaasNow specific user agreement, and you agree with a SaaS end user license agreement for the use of the software. I'm not going to do this right now, but once you would hit save, it'll take around 30 to 45 minutes to launch the environment. The other option here, as I mentioned, is SaaS via machine learning. That's the newest version. We have one extra flavor there, and that's the 24 core option for even more capacity and memory. And the difference between visual analytics and machine learning is that with machine learning, especially for trying it out, you can also choose for a daily contract term. There's a price per day, around 20 euros per day you pay for the environment, but you have to bring your own license in terms of machine learning. So once you would launch an environment, within 30 minutes, it will be up and running. So in the case of machine learning on VIA, as I mentioned, you would need a license file of your own. Bring your own license is the model, the term we use for it. And you have to upload your playbook or license file you get from your SaaS representative, and you can upload it here to the environment. Once you do that and you hit submit, the actual deployment starts. So after that's done, you can drill into the details of the machine. Here again, you see the overview of the machine, the contract term you've chosen, how much storage you have, and which software is running on it, and of course the configuration and location. So here you have the usage, which is straightforward since it has never been changed. You can see the different periods since when it's running. And one thing you need to do first is create users. It's pretty straightforward, but I'll take you through the create user part. We typically we demand the username to be in the form of an email address, but with VIA, your username will be the part before the ad. So just your first part of it. You choose a password, you hit save, and you have to have a complex password, of course, in terms of security, since this is all an internet-based solution. So once you've done that, you can actually launch the VIA environment. In this case, machine learning. You can click on SAS VIA to actually launch it, but what happens is that you get redirected to the URL of the environment. You can remember this URL, you can bookmark it, you don't have to be in the portal to actually go to SAS VIA. So I'll just briefly log in to see if this is still all working. And this is VIA for those of you who haven't seen it yet. This is a standard VDMML environment, and I'm just running something to see the actual experience. You see that it's now running, and it will plot the output on the screen. But of course, after the deployment within our portal, it is just a regular SaaS solution. And again, you don't have to be on. You don't have to go through the portal to launch the environment. You can just go to the URL you've chosen before when you launch the environment. The same goes for visual analytics and statistics. It's a bit different. There's some minor detail changes, differences in the configurations, but I'll show that also. You have the same, you have the usage. Here I've actually expanded the storage at a certain point with 50 gigabytes. That's fairly straightforward. If you need more disk storage, so this is not about memory. If you need more disk storage, you can click Edit. You type in the new number you need for storage. For example, if you would like to have 100 gigabytes extra, you go to 300 instead of 200. You hit Edit, and it will actually deploy the size of the hard disk on the back end. This is all being done live. Again, here you have the users. The difference here is that you choose a username with an email address, and you can choose a user role, either a modeler or a viewer, which is pretty self-explanatory. A modeler can also create reports, and a viewer can only view them. But the difference between VIA and Visual Analytics on the current SaaS platform is that with this solution, you use the entire email address as a username. So both with VDMML and with VA and VS, you can change your configuration. For example, if you started out with a smaller environment of 4 cores, you can of course go to 8 or 16 cores, which of course also increases the amount of memory in the system. This is done by a reboot of the machine or the services to actually make that happening. And once you're done with the larger environment, for example, you have to do this only once a quarter. You can go back within the same month to a 4-core again. And the next month you will be paying the lesser config instead of the more expensive one. So there are some options here at the top. The data manager, which is specific to this VA build from SaaS. You can upload data there. You can restart VA, which will actually restart all the services on the server. If that doesn't help, in some cases, rare cases, you can restart the entire VM. You can delete the VM, which will also, after that, the current month will stop the billing, and you can apply changes. You can apply changes if you've changed anything. Then the provisioning will start to do that. If you, for example, have been using this for a POC, you are done with all the testing and you want to start fresh, you can also hit redeploy, which will actually take around an hour. It completely wipes the current environment and deploys a new one, completely without any data, just as you would have started once you deployed it for the first time. So there's also an SFTP option. A lot of customers want to upload their data automatically, or at least schedule something to be put at the server on a daily or hourly basis. You can use SFTP for this. You can normally you should enable it. It's already enabled here. Then you see the hostname you should use, the port you should use, which is pretty standard SSH traffic, the username and the password you typed in once you enabled the SFTP functionality. So for VA and VS, you have the management console. This management console is actually a published application. You can start the application and put in and type in your credentials, which will actually start published applications through RDS, and you then can access the management console, which will be different with VIA, because the management console will be gone there. It will be all done on a web-based with a web-based portal. So Willem talked briefly about the end portal. White label and portal you can also create. Here you can create the end users for it, and then you have a label you can give to your portal. You can give to your customers without exposing them directly to the SaasNow portal. So one question in the chat is: does AMSIO plan to have a Canadian data center presence? If no, are you partnered with any cloud infrastructure providers in Canada to provide the SaasNow capability? Not today. That doesn't say anything about the future, of course, but there are no concrete plans today to launch a data center in Canada. Of course, if there's a specific need, we can always accommodate that, both for SaasNow solutions or for private cloud solutions. So this was a brief overview of the portal. We do have a data center in New York, which is also North America, and of course a couple of locations in the EU. But that list is also what I showed you here in the portal. Another question. Is it possible to connect with enterprise guides to VA and VS? Again, not with the VA version of which is not VIA yet. It's not supported by the VM structure of Visual Analytics today. We're expecting to have that will be changing with VIA because we can do more within the machine, and we are hoping that the VA on VIA is coming soon, of course. So that's an overview of the portal. I don't know if there are any other questions. Okay. In that case, I would, if there are no other questions, you can always email us. You can you get a copy of the presentation and a recording of this webinar. And then I thank you all for attending, and have a great afternoon or morning.